Alright, let's go. Oh yeah, Helmer. Let's see who I'm at war with, first of all. Go get some nods. Awesome. What castle's that? That one? Yeah, it would be. Montour is leading the campaign. Just recruit some peeps to help me on the quest. One second, let me just do this. There we go. Just pausing the stream just so it doesn't lag me too much. Seriously? Okay, let's just take these guys on. There we go. And are these nods? Yeah, they're nods. Means you can take them down quite easily. There we go. Finish these fuckers off, and then let's save the castle. And while we're at the castle, we'll have a little chat. Take these bad boys. Oh yeah, I've still got Ragnar in my prisoner list. Decent. I should probably get some some food. I've had a really bad cough today. Take the grain. You're still here? Oh damn. Okay. I'll join in. So I guess castle's a no-go. It's Montour that's leading the army, isn't it? Didn't realise they were all following me. Never mind. Quite heavy troops, which I'm assuming my guys took on. But no need for panic. Pretty sure we got this. Hey, Rolf's up here with me. Yep, nothing interesting to take. Is Montour here? No. Okay, it's neither of them. See if I can find Montour. Oh, okay, so I can actually upgrade him. Oh damn, okay, so I can actually upgrade him a lot. It's already a good fighter. Let's make him a really good leader as well. And give him some prisoner management. Because I might not see him for a while now. Hey, before you go, can you tell me where Amirad? Okay, so he's pretty far away. Which is worth checking out. Yeah, you can take him. Hey, Kate gets one to die. 125 lances? That is insane, man. Are they better than my knights and all that? I don't think so. Oh, that is not an even fight. Yeah, that's not a very even fight. I guess I can kind of juke him around. So if I kill one for every 8, then we'll have it. Not to mention they'll probably just rout anyways. Might actually see a siege. That would be nice. Because then I'm waiting for a siege to have a nice chat with you guys. Pretty much, that's the whole point. We should see a siege or 2 today. Based on how things go. So how you guys been today? Surprised I didn't do a lot of damage then. Yeah, no, we're taking that hit for the team. I'm better off alive, basically. How are we doing? 40 and we kill 100. Yeah, it's not going great on our side. But we might actually turn this around once we start getting more reinforcements and they get less and less people on the field. Like, this is pretty perfect, the amount of kills that we get. I think all of these, the ones that I'm taking down now, are actually the weaker ones. I think that's what's happening. At least there's no Rodox. Rodox would be a pain in the ass to deal with. We're losing some battles now. Kind of wish I had a pointy stick at this moment. So what I might do is go back to my little chest on the floor. Give myself a good weapon. And go and have a bit of slaughtering. Right, I've got this sword, I guess. I'll do. I'm gonna ignore the... Yeah, I'm just gonna ignore the fact that I can take prisoners and just go for the kills. Oh. You go away. Too high. Not doing too bad, to be honest. One hit kills. That's pretty decent. I think the headshots help as well. Hey, we actually won this. Awesome. How we're looking? Yeah, we lost a lot of people, man. 18 deaths. At least not 340, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? But my medics are down, so I cannot take another battle, sadly. The old man does old man thingies. Why are you calling me old man? I'm not old. How you doing, Hardy? I might actually have to go into this siege. At least 300 of them are down. And they gave up. Cowards. That's what they are. Cowards. They could not face me. They could not face me. However, I can face them. Let me put my normal gear back on. Yeah, sure, I'll take the mace. Yep, if you're brave enough. How have you been today, Hardy? Have you been up to anything interesting today? A pretty chill day, but didn't want anything today, so I just wasted the day doing nothing. Awesome. Yeah, that's okay sometimes. Sometimes you feel a bit guilty about not doing anything with your day, but sometimes you do need a day that you do nothing. Just so you can appreciate that you've actually done nothing, and it kind of pushes you to do something. How are we doing? 3 wounded, the rest is happy days. So I was thinking, should I keep streaming Mountain Blade? Because the audience that I'm going for is obviously going to be the Bannerlord audience. Because that's what I want to play when it comes out. Or should I like try to go for GTFO or whatever? Because I quite enjoy that game. GTFO is quite an interesting game. I think soloing it would be quite difficult, but I honestly do not mind difficult games. If I lose, I lose. I'm not really bothered. Just like when I lost 2 cities and a castle in this game. To be honest, you could stream anything. Everyone waits for Bannerlord regardless of the game they play now. That is very true. But it's like, am I gonna hurt myself by doing that? Because here's the thing, okay? I could literally stream natural selection too. Yeah. But that's not a very good game to stream. Because it's not very fun to watch. And you have to be pretty concentrated when you're playing it. So I could stream that, but I've noticed that when I stream that, I get viewers. I get actually more viewers than usual. But nobody talks, because they're all just kind of watching me play the game. And that's quite boring for me. Yeah, I want to be able to have a conversation. If not with you, at least talk at you. And if I'm playing natural selection, I'm actually most of the time speaking to the team. Yeah, NS2 has many lurkers to play themselves or just watch. Yeah, it's not what I'm going for really. So I don't know if that's the best option. The smartest idea. So NS2 would be a no. Can exclude that game. But like GTFO, I can actually take my time, plan things ahead. If I need to pause or stop for any reason, I can always do that. So I wouldn't mind streaming GTFO. But then again, am I going to lose the people that watch me? I know you'll show up regardless, because you just come here to call me an old man. And you just show up here because you're a nice person. But what about... I think the other guys would actually show up, because there's only really 3 people that show up on my streams, and it's always the same 3. It's you, it's oh boy, I forgot his name. There's Voyager, and oh, I forgot his name because it's Cobalt? No, it starts with C, but I can't remember his name. He'll kill me if he sees this stream. Yeah, the guy that you're talking to yesterday. You are the 3 people that show up. And I don't think you care what I stream, to be honest. But is the kind of audience that watches GTFO my kind of audience as well? So it's like there's positives and negatives, and I feel a lot more comfortable talking about talking while playing Warband, because Warband's a nice game. You just chill out. It's repetitive. I can play the game without even looking at the screen nowadays. Everything is just automatic. Cool armor, man. Not as good as what my peoples have got, so. Probably not GTA 4. It's more like watching and exchanging info. It's not really nice to watch besides talking about tactics. Ah, so what game would you recommend though? Like, sure, you could play Faster Than Light is alright, because again, it's a slow game. It needs to be a slow game that you can talk over. Like Escape from Tarkov, that would be a nice game because you got the moments where nothing's fucking happening for like half an hour. Then you got 5 minutes of action, and then it's another half an hour of nothing happening. But I've not bought Tarkov because I disliked Battle Royale genre in general. It's just not for me. There's too much downtime. The downtime does not pay off for the uptime. Basically, the amount of time that it takes you to get somewhere does not justify the combat. Or the other way around, the combat that you get does not justify the amount of time that you spend traveling to get to it, or the loot. Sea of Thieves is okay. Sea of Thieves is a game that actually does it. Rimworld could also be something interesting. I quite enjoyed Rimworld actually. Not played it in a long time. Not gonna say I was any good at it. I could survive, basically. I've never reached the end of the game or anything like that. Kenshi's also a really nice game. Have you heard of Kenshi, or do you know what Kenshi is in general? Or have you played Kenshi? Yeah, Kenshi is also good for long talks. I wouldn't mind streaming Kenshi. I streamed Kenshi for a long time. Again, not an expert at Kenshi. But I've not got the game. I've not bought the game yet. So it's like, do I sacrifice the time? the money, not even the time. Do I sacrifice my money to buy it? No worries, I can help you out in Kenshi thing. You can help me out in every game, man. No matter what I play, you always know what I'm doing wrong. And now, it's awesome, I appreciate that. You know what? Here's an interesting, let's do a little thought experiment. Think of a game, any game, that you do not need to know the mechanics of the game to be good at it. So I'm talking like chess, okay? If you look at chess, yeah, you could potentially beat a grandmaster if you got the brains for it. But unless you're like superhuman and you know the openings, you're not gonna beat them because everything's theory nowadays, okay? Now I've been thinking that this is like a long time project that I've been trying to think of. Is there a way that you can make a game that is purely logical? Okay. As in, if you got the brains for it, either strategic or tactically, if you got the brains for it, you don't need to know the... Oh damn. You don't need to know the rules of the game. I mean, you have to know the rules, you just don't have to learn them. Yeah, they're so intrinsic to everyone that you don't have to learn mechanics for it. So what the objective is, I'd like to create a game that anyone can join, and it kind of measures up on your intelligence. So the more intelligent and cunning you are, the better you do at the game. And it doesn't matter how many hours you've got in the game. If your intelligence or cunning levels or whatever are not as good as someone, you'll never be able to beat them because they'll always outsmart you. Like, if you look at chess, again, like I said, if I started playing chess with my younger self, I would beat my younger self at chess because I know the openings. Okay? Go. Or Chinese checkers, whatever you want to call it. I would beat my younger self at that as well because I understand the tactics. But I'd like a game that, unless I got smarter throughout time, there'll be no chance of me beating my younger self. It would be a pretty equal fight. Now, can you think of anything like that? Where you're pretty much your IQ levels being measured, but not directly. Because you look at people like the world chess champion. Okay, you look at him and you think, oh, he's pretty smart. Yes, he is pretty smart, but only at chess. Okay, maybe if you got him to play Go, then I would beat him. Yeah, that maybe I wouldn't, but the whole point is, he's really good at chess. Not in general. So it'd be a game that pretty much uses all of your brain at the same time. It uses all of your brain at the same time, and it doesn't discriminate if you got more or less experience within the game. Is there a game like that that I'm not aware of? Is it even possible to create a game like that? Because anything's possible. Well, that game wouldn't be fun without a learning curve. But I mean, the learning curve would be the competition. That would be your learning curve. As in, you'd kind of outweigh yourself against other people and you'd kind of see where you'd fit. And the only way that you could actually get smarter is not by learning the game, but by either increasing your intelligence level somehow. Not in the game itself, but your real intelligence levels. And then it could be used to actually measure people's intelligence, unlike an IQ test. IQ tests don't actually measure how intelligent you are. They just measure how well you do under certain situations. By the way, you only need 2 kills and then you can press tab. Yeah, but then it's like I don't get to talk to you. I mean, I do, but yeah, I do understand what you mean. I've just been so used to doing it this way for so long. Me. Because there's many types of intelligence. Okay, there's adaptability, that's a part of intelligence, spatial awareness, and that's another one. Musical intelligence is another one. So I do understand that intelligence is a very broad subject. So maybe I would have to specify different parts of intelligence. I can't believe I lost this tournament because I'm an idiot. Wow, I've not lost a tournament in a long time. So I guess you would have to specify, but there's nothing out there like that. I've never seen anything like that. I wouldn't even know how to make it work. I think that's the issue. I think that's the main issue, is that I would not know how to make the game like that from scratch. Because it's probably impossible, that's why. Yeah, it's a really cool thought experiment though. The more you think about it, the more complex and vague it gets. For me, it gets really vague. The more I think about something like that, the more vague. It's because normally when you're thinking about something, you're exploring it into that field. Okay, you had to do your research and you can narrow down what you're looking for. But in my case, in the case of this game or project, you can't actually hone down on anything because you don't know what you're looking for. So you're trying to broaden. So I'm trying to look for a definition. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, a definition of what the game would be. So I'm expanding the fields until I think, okay, the game encompasses all of this. At the most, okay, this is the broadest thing I could come up with. And then you kind of narrow down until you got the exact format of what you're looking for. I'm pretty sure it'd not be called a game. It is. Anything that's interactive is a game. Anything that is interactive is a game. Same with life. Life's a game. By modern, people talk, maybe not. Not sure. But I'd definitely call it a game. Because you'd have to pivot your intelligence against something. And the easiest way to do that is by pivoting it against someone. So how would you pivot two people together though? And see which side's strongest. It's like, sure, I guess you could make it completely abstract. Or you could go downright specific. I think abstract would work for that kind of game. Full abstraction, and then you're completely free from predetermined notions. Yeah, it's something that's really fucking weird. I guess we're not seeing a siege today. I thought you'd be seeing one today, but they're becoming pussies, man. I don't really think that something like that is even doable, not even in theory. Huh, I don't think so. What do you think of the idea though? Because it's always bugged me. I've been thinking about this for years. I mean for years. It pops up every now and then. It's like... It started when I first started developing video games. Because I always found it really annoying that just because someone spent more hours at something than I have, they can beat me. Well, it sounds really fucking stupid, yeah. But it's like... Because, yeah, that's how professions work, yeah. You become professional once you've done enough hours and invested enough hours on something. Okay, that makes sense. But it always annoyed me that just because I don't have the time to play video games, then someone else is better than me because of it. Not always. I know guys that play Counter-Strike and they've got like fucking 3,000 hours, and me with my 150 or whatever it was at the time, I could beat them. Because of my mechanical skills and previous FPS experience and all that. But it's like, I wanted a game that anyone could jump into, and it wouldn't matter how good they were, how much experience they had. If they were smart enough or competent enough, then they could be the best. If they were the smartest, then you'd be the best. Like, it's really, really weird. Basically, peering off on intelligence. Pure intelligence instead of experience. So I guess a game that neglects experience, that would be the broadest description of it. Oh, caravan. Well, think about that again. Such a game wouldn't have any gameplay features because if there were any, you could master them. Yes, exactly. The lack of gameplay features would be the gameplay feature. Because like you said, it can't depend on any features, so it needs to be completely abstract. And come on, what we've invented language. Language is the most abstract thing turned concrete that you could possibly do. Maybe, arguably. But you see an object and you describe it. Okay, you invent some words and then people have thought, okay, that makes sense. And you've turned something that's an object using an abstract, because words are kind of abstract, yeah. They just sound that makes sense. So if humans can create language to make sense of something, I'm sure that there must be a way to create something out of abstract as well, because we've already done language. It's just really fucking weird, man. I don't know what goes on through my head most of the times, but yeah. I'll figure out the solution one day. If I invest enough time in it. But I'm not going to invest enough time in it because no matter where I approach it from, it just doesn't seem to form into anything concrete. But yeah, but language is a logic thing. It has an item for which it stands. Yeah, but think about it this way. Which can mean two things. Depends on the context. Yeah, so which could be an actual which, or which when you're picking. It all depends on the context. Okay, so the same word, or what sounds like the same word, is highly dependable on the context. And that's a feature of language. Oh, did I? Wait, I think I blocked one of your texts by accident. I meant to accept it, but it's not showed. So I don't know if I accidentally blocked it when I didn't mean to. Just send it again. Couldn't. Okay. They're getting brave, man. Couldn't. That's right there. Yeah. And the Swedians want some as well. In German, we don't have useless double words. Yeah, same in Portuguese. We don't really do well with the double words. But in English, you do. So it is possible to make sense out of something that is abstract. Not inherently, because like you said, it is attached to words, but oh, I love the range on this sword, man. Makes so much difference. But then again, that's the other thing though, it's like, if the only way you can learn a language, it's by using logic. So, but even then, you are learning a language, so I don't think it's even possible now, deeply thinking about it. Because you do master a language, you do learn languages. But even IQ tests aren't real IQ tests, because you can learn IQ tests. The guy with the biggest IQ in the world, he's a guy who learned IQ tests. Yeah, he just learned all of them. So whenever you ask him an IQ question, he's probably already done it. So he kind of defeats the point. But he says, well, I'm the smartest person in the world because I've learned all the tests, and that's what determines how intelligent you are. Nice loophole there, isn't it? And what are you gonna say? Oh, but you're not supposed to? No, of course you can. Of course you can learn them. Nothing's stopping you, because apparently IQ tests test your real intelligence. They don't. IQ is meaningless. Yeah, pretty much. It's an outdated method of testing people. Did you hear about that? I watched a video a long time ago. When I say a long time, I think halfway through last year. About they were trying to develop this really hard and an IQ test that had no language barrier, okay? And the way they did it, instead of using numbers, they use hieroglyphs. Okay, so symbols. And so they made the tests, and then they tested it on the American public. And when they tested it, only about 2% of the people actually passed the test. Okay, so they thought, okay, this is amazing, okay? This is an amazing test because it's really hard and it's actually testing very positively against the American people. So we can kind of tell who's really intelligent based on this. So what do? They assume that test is correct and they take it to China. They take it to China and they say, okay, do you want to join our company? Then you have to pass this test that 98% of Americans couldn't pass. Okay, because that's how difficult it is using these symbols and hieroglyphs to make logic. Okay, so they tested, they put the advertisement out, they put people through tests, and when they came for the results to see like who was smart enough to be in the company, they found that about 80 to 90% of the people who took the test passed it. And they thought, oh my god, these Chinese people are really intelligent. What they didn't take into consideration was that in China, their language is what you would call hieroglyphs, symbols. So making patterns out of symbols is kind of ingrained into them. While in America, and obviously any civilization that uses letters for for words, then it isn't. So while it does prove more difficult for Americans to do the test, for the Chinese it's like piece of piss. Most of them didn't even have degrees in anything. They're just like, I just want a job, and this, you know, sound like a good opportunity, so I applied for it. So it just goes to show that what we think makes people intelligent actually doesn't make them intelligent. Intelligence is too vague of a meaning to actually be able to test, as far as we know. But there must be a way. At least to test certain areas of your intelligence. Should I go for it? I don't think so. Wait for some time, heal up. Dirham as well. Wow, these guys are going all out, man. I need to help them now, don't I? God damn it. Are we healed up, guys? Yeah, we are. Yeah, everyone's badass in this this campaign until they see me with a bow and arrow. Then they're not so strong anymore. How's it looking, the quality of the video, while I'm playing at night? You said it wasn't that good. Is it, or is that only on the map? I honestly think that, like, people say that musical intelligence and all that shit is an actual form of intelligence. Actually, no. They are right. It is a form of intelligence, but I think the most important evolutionarily intelligence is something that comes with the wisdom of time and your environment. Yes, I would agree. I think that intelligence, evolutionarily, I think the most useful skill is to be adaptable. At night with the snow, it looks nice. Oh, okay. Because nature, like natural selection, is survival of the most adaptable. Okay, if you can adapt to certain circumstances where others can't, you're gonna reproduce while others aren't. So you're gonna work, you know, win the evolutionary race. So obviously, music's gonna help you. So musical intelligence for humans is gonna help because that's a way that you can mate. Yeah, that's a way you can show off your skills, and then you'll be able to mate because obviously it attracts the opposite sex one way, one regardless of gender. Okay, so if you want to reproduce, being musically intelligent, that's going to help you a lot reproducing. However, it's not going to really help you survive. So I think musical intelligence is more on the It's more on the end goal, as in you've already got, you settled down, yeah, you got enough food to feed yourself, so it's I wouldn't say specking, but putting ability into learning music to reproduce is an extra. While if you're just intelligence to adapt, then obviously that's a lot more vital, because regardless of the environment, you're gonna do better than you would if you only had musical intelligence. However, having musical intelligence kind of assumes that you're in a stable condition regardless. So it's really, really weird. And I don't even know where I'm going in this conversation. Well, we humans no longer have a natural selection. No, we pretty much stopped it for us. What we are gonna have now is because evolution for us has stopped when it comes to a race. When it comes to being the human species, how evolution has stopped. As in, this is pretty much how we're gonna be now until the end of times. Yeah, unless we augment ourselves with technology, this is what we're going to be, because we're too homogenous now. There's no room for people to evolve anymore. Pretty much colonize the world, so we're going to stay like this until we colonize other worlds, and then they get separated enough to develop their own little niche. But this is how we are. So the next step in evolution is literally social. We are already getting more intelligent every year that goes, exponentially. Humans are getting more intelligent regardless of what people say. We're losing a bit of our... When I say intelligent, I mean logic. We're becoming a lot, in average, a lot more logic people. Or species. But we're trading off the survival instincts that we used to be so good at, and knowing the territory, we're trading that off for logic. So because we're getting supplemented with the technology's pretty much made it so we don't have anything to be afraid of. So what's the point in being really, really strong naturally if you don't have dangers to worry about? So logically, we evolve as a civilization or a species to become really intelligent, because that's where we're needed at the moment. That's where we're lacking, the intelligence. Or that's the only way that we can improve the species in general. And we can actually do that within the whole species at the same time. Because technology, we learn from each other. So as a species, we stopped evolving in the sense of individuals, and we've started evolving in the sense of the whole species, the species as a whole. Unless you look at Portuguese people, they're degenerate as usual. Can I hit him? Oh, no need. No need for that. There we go. Oh yeah, by the way, Hardy, remember me saying that I was asking for a pay rise? Selective breeding is also a possibility. Not morally good. choice, but it's not like humans care after a while. No, I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, it went better than I expected. I was gonna ask for a pay rise. He ended up offering me a promotion. I don't know. So basically, told him, like, I explained everything. By the end of it, he was like, well, he asked me, like, are you interested in something like that? What is your ambition? I told him, yeah, I do want to climb the career ladder. Then we talked a bit more, and I told him, like, look at this, yeah, this way I can improve. You can improve in the company. And he said that what I managed to solve was an industry problem that he didn't know the answer to, and I pretty much just gave him the answer to it. And it's nothing amazing. I mean, I think most people could have come up with it if they spent a bit of time thinking about it. Point is, by the end of it, he was like, he didn't ask me, oh, can you please apply for the position? He did say you can apply if you wanted at the start. Well, not at the start, but halfway through. And then by the end of it, he just told me, yeah, I'm going to speak with your manager. Because the manager I spoke to, he's not like my direct manager. He's like one of the big bosses that I didn't expect to talk to. And he said, okay, I'm going to speak to your manager and I'll get back to you after Monday. Because that's when my manager is back, apparently. And it's for the supervision position. So he pretty much didn't say, oh, do you want to take it? Can you please apply? He said, you're going to take it because I'm going to give it to you. Hey, we might actually have a siege because I literally cannot fight Swedians on the field. That we know how suicidal that is, so I'm not even gonna try. Just gonna... Ooh, tournament. Should I go for the tournament? Yeah. Bit extra cash. Can't hurt anyone, right? So you're saying 2 and then tab the fuck out of it. Sounds legit, man. 1, 2, tab. Yeah, that's much quicker, that. Oh, come on. I thought I killed her for some reason. Right, I'm gonna go toilet and then I'll oh, I accidentally kicked my earphones out of place. Right, I'm gonna go toilet and then I'll come back and we'll have a siege. Good luck for your further career path. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I was contacted by a friend of mine's actually about... What was it? Like a week ago? And he said he wants to open a business and if I was interested in being his partner. A business partner. And I said, yeah, sure. But he said within next 2 years at most. So either next year or the year after. And I told him, if you're serious about it, because he'd been moving a bit south. But I told him, if you're serious about it and you come up with a good business plan, yeah, I'm down for it. And unless these guys are paying me like 60 or 70k a year, I'm leaving. If they are paying me that, then it's, you know, it's a bit tricky. Because I've already said I would, but I didn't say 100% I would. I just kind of said, yeah, sure. I lost that. God damn it, I didn't realise it was being attacked. I think wherever I show up, they kind of just scatter around. Wait, where's my chest? Oh, there we go. Come on, move. There we go. You know when Swedish man at times are killing Vega Knights? Yeah, that's when you know, that's how you know that Sweden's are OP, man. Again, Vega Knight killed by a Swedish man at times. Wait, what are those guys doing? I'm gonna have to go to that castle and take it down again. Haven't I like captured that castle like 4 or 5 times? Did he also had a concept or just the overall idea of opening a business? No, he's actually already kind of started it, as in he's got the domain for the website, he's got the Facebook page. He already does work for not the business itself, but he does work as a freelance kind of thing. He's an upholstery job, just like me. That's why I know him from. And he already does work at home for people. Okay, but obviously he's not got the customers to support 2 people. Yeah, and it's not like it's a job that you can get. So he tries to start it up right now. Yeah. Pretty much, he showed me the other day, I think 2 days ago, his business cards that he ordered about 100 of them. So he's starting it up basically, and he needs about a year or 2 to get it up and running to a point where he needs me to join the company. So I've always got that option. If I see this company is not taking me where I want to be, because I'm not one of that kind of people that rushes for things. I'm very patient, but if I feel like I'm being fucked about, then that's it. You've lost me as a worker. So I'll do anything that the company needs, yeah. I'm a very yes man kind of person. Unless I know for 100% that I am right. If I'm 100% right and you're wrong and you're telling me to do something, I'm most likely not going to do it. I don't care what you say. I'm most likely not going to do it. Unless you take the blame when it comes down to it, but then I want it on paper. Just like when it comes to like at work, if they say do it this way and I say no, that way is fucking shit, I'm not doing it, they say do it this way and I say okay, but you're signing for it at the end, and then they sign for it at the end. So if it ever comes back because it's fucking horrible, then I can say, well, he signed for it, so he's happy with it, go and talk to him. And so, like I said, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm a very yes man, I'll do the job. But whenever I start feeling like the company's abusing my skills, then I'll mention it to them. By the way, you are using my skills, and you're using, yeah, having a safety paper, isn't it? Yeah. So I'll mention it to them. Okay, you're using my skills. I want compensation for it. And most companies will say, like my last boss, he'll just say, "Oh yeah, but you know this is not your job, so," and you didn't do it quite right either. Like when I did the website and shit like that. Or they wouldn't even say that. They'd just say, "Yeah, we'll think about it. We can't afford it at the moment." Then that's the moment that again, pack my bags, look for another job. So if it reaches a point now that I'm doing more than expected, and they're expecting either more or not, or I'm not being compensated for it, then there's no reason for me to stay there. I'll mention it, which you always should. You shouldn't just go and not say anything. That's very unprofessional, and you could very well be wasting a good opportunity, because they probably don't even realize that you're doing it. You know that your job's really important if nobody knows that you're doing it. Because if you stop doing it and everything goes to shit, then that's when your job is extremely important. Because, like, the people behind the cameras on films, yeah, if they didn't do a good job, it would be shit. Okay? But because they do a good job, they don't get noticed. Nobody ever thinks about the person behind the camera because of how good the job is. So you should always mention when you aren't happy with something and show them what you've been doing. And if the company's nice, like this company was quite nice, not my manager, but the manager that was way above, when I mentioned everything, instead of trying to rebound me back and tell me this is not how it is, like they should, because I was expecting resistance, yeah, he actually agreed with me. I always flame the cameraman if the camera shakes, that sucks. Exactly. But if he doesn't do anything wrong, then you don't actually do anything. You know, you don't say anything. It's like there was this example of a teacher that he wrote 10 problems on the board, okay, and then he wrote the solutions for them, okay, and on one of them he wrote the solution wrong on purpose. He wrote the solution wrong on purpose. And then you let the students do their own calculations, and then at the end they were all like mentioning, oh, by the way, that one's wrong. Oh yeah, by the way, this one's wrong. You know what I mean? You've done that one wrong. Why have you done it like that? That's not what it should be. And then he stops them all talking, and he simply says, okay, so you've noticed that I've wrote problems down, and you've noticed that one of them is wrong. I wrote that one wrong on purpose. Now, if you'll notice, nobody ever mentioned the ones that I did right. I did 9 things right and 1 wrong, and the only thing that gets pointed out is the thing that I've done wrong. Get used to it, because that's what life's like. And it's a really interesting problem that people only notice when you fuck up. So if nobody ever notices you or don't even know who you are, that's sometimes a good thing, because it means you've not fucked up in any way. Like this manager that I was talking to, he didn't even know where I was from or my name last week. This is last week. He didn't know my name or where I was from. He knew that I wasn't English, but he didn't know my name because he went over to my supervisor and he said, what's that Italian guy's name? I'm not even Italian, yeah? And I've been there for nearly 3.5 months. So obviously, he doesn't know my name. So that's a good thing, because if you knew my name and I've not done anything great, that's usually not good news, because it means you fucked up one way or another. Am I not hitting these fuckers? Are you? Are you? No, it needs to be lower, right? Oh, way lower. It's normal if you aren't so near your team to not know everyone. No, he shows up at least twice a week to see how we're doing and complain how messy the place is. Not to me, he always compliments how tidy normally my work area is. But in general, he comes over and he knows everyone. And there's only a team of 3 people. So he either forgot my name by accident, or yeah, because he didn't even realise I was Portuguese instead of Italian. Well, even though I don't know half the dudes I work with, I know their faces. Yeah, that's true. God damn it, stole my kill. I've lost 4 people. 4 dead on a siege. That's awesome. And his pitch to me was, this is a great opportunity if you want to basically get on the steps, on the ladders, on the ladder for progression, and should I give it to you? Montowa, wasn't it? No, Montowa's up here already. I'll give it to Mammon. It's a Zugan that's pissed off because I'm not giving him enough shit. I mean, I don't even know most of my neighbours in German Silent Social. I'll be honest, I only know 3 of my neighbours, and I live in a very busy street. I think it's just, how old are you, Hardy, if you don't mind me asking? Because it might just be our generation. I think my dad's like, I'm like my dad as well, that I don't really socialise. But I think it's mostly our generation we keep to ourselves. If you are in the same generation as me, I'm assuming you are. I would assume you'd either 19 only? I thought you'd be a bit older than that. I was going to say mid-20s. But I'm really good at guessing people's mental age more than their real age. That's a game I used to play with myself. That sounded wrong. That's a game that I used to come up with. Try and guess people's age based on what I hear from them and how they look. Now, I have no clue what you look like, so I couldn't guess that. I'm mentally retarded. That's how I survive my days. Okay. So yeah, I used to be really good at it. I could guess people's ages within a year. A year or 2. I'll take the footman, I guess. Oh no, because this militia goes to... Oh no, it goes to footman, doesn't it? Yeah, and then man at arms. I'll take it. Nah man, I'm really bad at those games. But yeah, went for a pay rise. I never asked for how much money like you'd be or anything. We never got to that point because he just obviously that's something that we will talk when it comes to the interview for the job. We will talk about it, and then I'll say unless you give me what I want, then I'm not gonna take the job, and I don't have to take the job. Like a 30-year-old can look like mid-50s. If I'm wrong, I somehow insult the person. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean when you say that. That's why I go for mental age. because normally mental age is a bit more approximate. And if anything, if you call someone out 50 based on their mental age, or 40 or based on their mental age, usually people take that as a compliment because it means they're wiser. So you kind of dodge a lot of the problems. But then again, you could guess their mental age is like fucking 19 when they're 30. And usually people don't take that very well. I've always been the opinion, ever since I heard this phrase, that men don't grow up, they just grow older. And I think that's very true. And I think that the more down to earth and I don't want to say intelligent because it's not really a thing of intelligence, but the more down to earth and nicer you are, the more you joke around. Okay? Because playing, as a general term, is something that intelligent animals do. That's how we learn. We learn through playing. That's why video games are so good, let's say, for children. Because that's how I learned, or how humans learn how to fight. You kind of fight with your sister and your brothers. Yeah, you play fight. And children, especially girls, learn a lot of social interactions through play as well. So the more you joke around and the younger you are in your head, usually the better it is, because it means you're still learning. Oh boy, that pointy stick came right at me. God damn it, stop moving. I will get him. There we go. So girls learn how to backstab from talking to other girls. Yes. Social skill. Again, watch the few videos on why boys tend to prefer mechanics when they're younger, like playing with cars, playing with Lego, while girls prefer to play with dolls because it improves. Girls are usually better teachers. Yeah, women are better teachers than men. That's just a fact. Yeah, because their social skills is usually a lot better than men's. Because they've learned through childhood. Playing with dolls, etc., etc. So, women knowing how about the social... Because there's the reason why. Okay, this is something that I read or watched a while ago. Women, they got the maternal instinct, okay? Now, this is a general rule of thumb. Doesn't mean everyone's like this. I used to play with dolls when I was younger. When I was a kid. So, general rule of thumb, mothers have got the maternal instinct, which means they have to protect their child when the baby's born. Okay. You are a girl. No, that's why I said general rule of thumb. I used to play with the dolls instead of playing with Legos and shit like that. So, because they gotta teach their child, having a good social skill is actually more important than knowing how to protect themselves. Again, general rule of thumb doesn't mean everyone. But generally, it's more important to teach your child basic skills, like how to eat, how to walk, keep them alive. That's your main priority, while the men's priority is to protect the female while they protect the little baby as well. So of course boys are going to play fight, because human males are usually a lot stronger than females. So their job is to protect the females. That's why boys play fight. Because naturally it meant more sense that a boy knows how to fight. So it's natural instinct that boys fight with each other. And now people are trying to stop that, which makes absolutely no sense. If you see two kids playing with each other that looks aggressive, even if they're just joking, yeah, even if they don't actually not hurting each other or anything, then you tell them to stop. But then why don't you tell a girl to stop playing with dolls? Because they're pretty much doing the same thing. They're teaching each other valuable skills for life. Or what used to be valuable skills for life. We need training long swords for every king in the kindergarten. No, but that's why, isn't that why you send kids into martial arts, learning martial arts? You know, I don't know if you've heard, but there's a big problem with knife crime in the UK at the moment. And I heard this suggestion, which is really, really intelligent suggestion, but I've only heard it once. And the suggestion is to, instead of like apprehending kids and teaching them about all this shit that they don't give a shit about at school, like, oh, knife crime is bad, yeah, no fucking shit, Sherlock, tell me something I don't know. Or don't carry weapons because you'll hurt yourselves more than you'll hurt others and you don't need protection. Of course you need protection. If you're worried, the first thing you're going to do is augment your fighting capabilities by giving yourself a weapon, and the most disposable weapons and most commons are knives. Okay, so of course you're going to do that. But a really interesting suggestion that I saw, teach kids martial arts. Yeah, fuck all this study, all this money that you're investing into sending people over the fucking country to teach them how to not to tell them not to use weapons. That's fucking ridiculous. They use weapons. That isn't the cause. That is a symptom. They feel weak, so they use weapons to protect themselves. So what you do, you teach them a martial art, and you hit the problem, not the symptom. You take care of the problem, which is people feeling useless, defenseless. You teach someone martial arts, not only when you learn a martial art, they teach you use this martial art for defense only. Okay? You're not going to go out on the street and twat someone just because you know a martial art. It's the same thing as you carry a knife and you just go out just to kill people with that knife. No, that's not why you carried the knife usually. So once you teach someone martial arts, they get taught within the lesson. This is a defense mechanism. This is a defense technique. And now, not only have you hit the problem, which is obviously people feeling defenseless, because now they can defend themselves, you also took care of another problem, which is people being on the streets bored and causing trouble. If you're busy learning a martial art, then that's 2 hours of your day that you've, 1 or 2 hours, it depends how long your classes are, that you've taken those young people who are very, very vulnerable usually, and you put them in a class. Martial arts don't work against a damn gun. Not a gun, no. Not a, yes, they do. You learn how to disarm people. Not against a gun, but against a weapon. Yeah, you learn how to disarm people in martial arts. it wouldn't work against a pistol, for example. You should just pull up a gun on someone. There's no chance they can do anything. They can run. Running is actually the best defense mechanism, defense technique against a gun. You run in a zigzag, you're extremely hard to hit. This might have been a bad idea, actually. Because I'm pretty sure Leslie's down. Anyone who tells you to stand your ground and desert someone is an idiot. If you know how to, it isn't. But no. They will tell you if you see a weapon, you do run. It's only in last resort that you do fight someone with a weapon. And any martial art that you learn, actually, they'll usually tell you, you run. You only use this as a last resort. You are incentivized to run away. Because you don't want to be fighting. Because unlike what movies make you think, there's no winners really. Yeah, you can put someone on the ground, but you've been hit like fuck as well, usually. There's no clear winner. It's just one person's on the ground and the other one's still standing. But when you count the injuries and shit like that, you're usually pretty bad. I have knife scars, even if you know your shit. That doesn't work as easy. No, it doesn't. That's why, from what I've heard, I've learned Kung Fu when I was younger, and again I was told it's only a defense mechanism. If you see anyone, you run away. And people who've done Tai Chi, they say the same thing. You pretty much run away. Unless you're forced against a corner and you either die or you fight or you die, then that's when you pull up your where you've learned, your practice. But even then, if you fight someone with a knife, you are going to get cut. It's just impossible not to get cut, but at least you're not going to get killed. That's the point of martial arts. It also gives you a boost in confidence in life. Okay, because that's something that doesn't get talked about in school. Yeah, you actually get put down in school because you get compared to everyone, not only in your class but in your school. And then you got social media, which I've talked about. I'm not a fan of it. Which all of it just get put down a lot throughout life. Martial arts give you a nice boost in confidence. Because now you know that you can defend yourself if you have to. So martial arts is actually the best, personally what I think is the best solution to knife crime. At least in the UK. So if you see a kid with a knife, or someone with a knife, or in general, just offer free classes. The money that they're investing into all this shit about teaching people about knife crime, sign them up for lessons. Even if it is just 2 months free lessons. 2 months of free lessons is a lot of time. If you go twice or 3 times a week, that's either... If you go twice, that's, let's say, an average of 8 days. If you go 3 times, that's an average of 3 times 4 is 12. So 12 days of learning something, so 12 hours of learning something will give you the very, very basic grasp of it. Actually, you could take defense arts as an extra sport course in the 5-6 class in Germany. Really? That's really interesting, that. I don't think it doesn't get offered here in the UK or in Portugal. It's not something they offer. Ooh, 1 second, I'm just sorting out my chat. But I don't understand why not. You know what I mean? It's a skill that will help you boost your confidence, which is really important when you go into business. It's like that saying, if 2 people are trying to gain leadership over someone, and they're in front of a crowd, people will follow whoever shouts the loudest. And that makes sense. well, do you want your people to know how to fight? You want your people to know how to defend themselves, which is a lot more important than learning how to fight. It's easy to control defenseless dudes. Yes, that's right. But people want to fight, will fight regardless, so... Yeah, I do see your point. I can't believe we lost Durring Castle earlier. Doesn't matter. What else was in the siege? Oh, there we go. Yeah, but people will fight regardless if they're trained or not. But yeah, it is easy to control people who are defenseless. But then you're expecting, or at least I would be hoping, for the people who are New Dark Castle as well. Damn. Oh boy. So let's take care of that fucker there. Oh, come on, let me in the castle. See if I can get a siege going. For some time. Nope. They ran away, as usual. Legit, nobody wants to fight me anymore. I guess that's just me hoping for people's good behaviour and common sense and using their knowledge for good, which humans are usually bad at. Again, not because of evolution, but because of society in general. While it does make sense that some people take advantage of others in an evolutionary sense, because if someone's doing really stupid shit, and you think, you're doing some really stupid shit, but I'm gonna take advantage of it, so yeah, you're gonna survive, they're not. So it makes sense in that style. But hopefully we will eventually move away from that. Especially if there's nothing to gain out of it. If you've been a dick and you don't actually get anything out of it, then you have no reason to be a dick. But nowadays, being a dick is actually extremely helpful. Extremely helpful. Sorry, munching my own words. Because if you go over to someone and ask them for change and they give it you, you've literally just done nothing for that money, except for begging. And while I do understand that sometimes begging is necessary to survive, that's not the point. The point is you've taken advantage of someone's spare income and used it for yourself. And sometimes that spare income is actually better used on the people that are homeless, so it's completely fine. But sometimes it isn't. So taking advantage of others is an evolutionary trait. No, I don't want to retreat. The battle's over. And you're free to go. Not a lot of people showed up today. Actually, just you and me, wasn't it? That's fine. We kept the conversation going, it was interesting. We had some weird conversation about some weird shit. Is there anyone here? Nope, guess not. I'm still in the work week. Oh, it's still in the work week. Yeah, and I don't stream on the weekends. Because I do stuff with my girlfriend. Wink wink. No, I go over. I play board games like I've mentioned before. So that might actually hurt me on the weekends, because that's when I get the most viewers, streaming on the weekends. So it is possibly something that I should consider. But my girlfriend also works on the weekends. Like, for example, this weekend, she is she's working, and she's going to be working Saturday, Sunday, which means I can stream. So while it's not all the time that I'm able to be here on the weekends, when I can be, I know that I will get a nice bit of traffic coming through the channel. But I do know for a fact that it's not just that, it's also a really bad time, because yeah, sure, you got Summit 1G streaming and shit like that, which does hurt the viewership, but you got Summit 1G streaming, which means there is people out there who do. Let me just check I've got my gear on. Yeah, who do want to watch content. Just probably not my content. Again, can't do anything about it. Not gonna complain. It's not a whinge, it's a fact. Does that make sense? So I'm not complaining, nobody wants to see my stream. No, it's not that kind of thing. It's more than the kind of thing that, yeah, there is people that, there is an audience out there, just probably not for me. Just not my audience. I have a feeling that this castle is really hard to defend for some reason. And I think even if all of those viewers went past my channel, they wouldn't stick around, because I might be promoting myself to a very niche audience. Which I don't think I mind doing, actually. I don't actually think I mind promoting myself to a niche audience, or only gathering a very niche audience. Basically, people who've got a bit of brains and can talk about a subject. The thing I love most about my stream, without blowing my own trumpet, that's not the point. The thing that I really like about my stream is that it promotes people talking. People, while they're on my stream, if someone mentions something, it's most likely going to be heard. If not by me, by someone else. Even if the channel got, like, let's say it got huge, yeah, and there's loads of people messaging, I believe that based on the environment that I've promoted, most of the messages would be meaningful, hopefully. So everyone would get their voice heard. And if they weren't meaningful, then I'd pretty much just create a timer for how often you could send a message. So you couldn't just spam like loads of random shit for no reason. Because I hate that. Spam is quite meaningful in streaming. Yeah, it's like they don't actually go together usually, do they? Get out of my fucking way. I was once an adventurer like you. Oh, that's funny that. Do you get where that's from? I mean, everyone gets where that's from. What the fuck am I talking about? I just want a weapon. Screw Skyrim. Or Bethesda. Yeah, I hate Bethesda. They used to be really good. Bethesda was like the holy grail of gaming at some point. And then somewhere along the lines they forgot how to make good games and they just sell shit now. Like if you saw something by Bethesda, you're like, oh, Jesus, I need this game because it's by Bethesda. What is it? I don't know yet, but the games were moddable. No, let's legit though. Oblivion, I loved Oblivion. I hate the Oblivion gates. Yeah, they were the most boring fucking thing in the world, but the game itself was quite good. I went through all of the side quests for Oblivion. Yeah, all of the side quests in the game, I finished them because I loved the game. But I got Skyrim and I didn't feel the same way about it. Maybe it's just me being a bit older and getting bored of games quicker. But I didn't feel the same way about Skyrim like I did with Oblivion. Oblivion was okay as the faces were just meh. Yeah, the characters in Oblivion were fucking hilarious, man. You look at most of them and think, what the fuck? So let me see how many I've got left to kill. Okay, I still got a few. So, do you want to listen to the story of while we're waiting for the siege to be over, etc, etc? Do you want to hear the title of the stream? Before I go to sleep and shit. So basically, about 3 years ago, I was working with this guy that was a real good friend of mine that I told you that wants to open a business with me. He found a house, yeah, where he's living now, and he decided to move out, okay? And I thought, I should probably be doing something with my life as well. So I started looking for better paid jobs because I'd learned everything these guys had to offer. I'd gone for supervisor, assistant supervisor positions, and they always turned me down 3 times. They always turned me down because they found someone who's a friend of a friend, and obviously it's easy to get people like that. And I wasn't up to the job anyways at that time. So I thought, okay, I'll find another job, and I found another job, paid alright. It was actually, I've still not earning as much money as I was earning there. But a month in, and the company went bust. That company that I just started working on. And not only that, at the same time that was happening, I was having problems with my ex, and we ended up splitting up. Okay, so I'd lost my job, I'd lost my fiance at the time, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with myself. Yeah, now I was living alone, paying rent for a 2-bedroom house, which I still live in, and the money is running out. A month went by, didn't find any jobs, because at that point I was just looking for any kind of job, yeah, even warehouse job, which I fucking hate. And I thought to myself, okay, so this is how it starts, yeah? You know when you see homeless people and they've always got a story to tell? It always starts around the lines of, I lost my job, then I lost my wife, and then now I'm on the street. And I really, really didn't want to be like that. I thought, yeah, I'm not going to put myself through that. So instead of like, start drinking to cope with it, I did the exact opposite. Which is what you should do, which is save money. So I cut down on everything. I was having like spaghetti like 3 times a week or 4. With nothing, just spaghetti. Because it was cheap. And I kept applying for all the jobs that I saw. And nothing was coming up. Okay, then the money got worse. Okay, I had enough money to survive for another 2 weeks. And then finally I got a job offer. Okay. And I went, I had a massive cold. I think I had the flu actually on that day. I could not move, but the guy said you really need to go to this interview because otherwise they're going to fill the position up. So I went to the interview, I had a massive flu. I don't remember most of the interview because I was just out of it, but somehow I got it. And it was for a warehouse position. And the warehouse position then opened up because the guy that was working there that I was going to work for, he left. And the position for manager became available. Warehouse manager. That's how I became a warehouse manager. For about 3 months. And then I realised that I was being watched on the camera. All the time. Like, he was micromanaging me. And if I went to the toilet and I took like 5 minutes on the toilet, he'd be waiting for me outside. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I was okay or not. But I never stopped looking for jobs, and I never went down I never succumbed to the pressure of, okay, this needs to be paid, this needs to be done, that needs to be done. Instead, I took it chill. I thought, if I become homeless, I become homeless. Fuck it. Yeah. At the worst, I'll save enough money to go back to Portugal. Yeah, back to my mum's that she used to live with my nan. And then during that period as well, I was watching a lot of, wouldn't say self-improvement videos, I'd say self-acknowledgement videos. Okay, so I wasn't trying to make myself better, I was trying to understand who I was. Which is a lot more important than making yourself better, because you can't improve if you don't know what you're talking about. So I learned a lot about myself. I learned to accept myself, like, for all the different things. This is while I was still single, after I split up with my ex. And I learned a lot about myself, and I learned what I was good at and what I was bad at. And after that, then I learned to improve what I was really bad at. And slowly I started gaining a lot of confidence. Like, a lot of confidence. I'm still a very confident guy. If you meet me on the street, then not only am I extremely polite. Oh yeah, that's another story that I should tell you one day. But usually, I don't have a lot of self-doubt, because I know if there's something I can talk about, I'll probably talk about it. And there's nothing that I can't say. If you ask me something about myself, I'll most likely be able to answer it. How I got where I am, you know, how I got my girlfriend, my current girlfriend, was during that period, because I understood, like, what I needed to do to be myself, and I got a really pretty girlfriend at the moment. I'm very proud of the girlfriend I've got, because even though she's way out of my league in looks, I understand that my own worth. So it wasn't hard to convince someone once you've convinced yourself. You remember that thing that I said, whoever shouts loudest, they follow whoever shouts loudest? If you're confident enough in your decisions and your opinions, you can convince anyone of anything. And that's what I've learned through self-observation, let's say. If you can convince yourself of something, you can convince anyone else of that same thing. And then obviously I got this girlfriend, and I've not stopped since trying to... Oh, 1 second. I don't know if I want to fight this. She damn goddess. I like, boy, you look good. Yeah, she is pretty fucking amazing. But point is, ever since I've learned how much I'm worth, how much my time is worth, and what I can offer, and that's how I've got the job after that. Yeah, after that job in warehouse manager, I've realised these guys are wasting my time. They wouldn't even pay me manager's wage though, because he was only 3 months, and he was like, yeah, I'll have you do the job for another 3 months after that, if you got the job, for the same money, which was minimum fucking wage. And I was losing money, I was bleeding money at that time. Still, even with the job, I was bleeding money. Because I had a, like I said, 2-bedroom house with fucking a full rent to pay and council tax and shit like that. So yeah, I was bleeding money even with that. And it didn't look like it was going to change anytime soon. So I got a job that paid a bit better. And that job, I'd come out with about £200 a month if I saved my money well. £200 a month I would come out with, just for myself. Then I could do whatever I wanted with it. And ever since, I've not stopped trying to look for ways to baby steps, do baby steps forward, basically. So yeah, it taught me a lot being on the, you know, those moments that either make you or break you. That's one of them. While I think a lot of people would have spiraled down, I was one of the people that actually managed to keep the head above the water and not drown. That's a little story, because that's pretty much how you hear the homeless story starting. And I realised that's the thing, is that I realised it's like, hold on, this is how they start. Yeah, I lost my job, lost my wife, or lost my girlfriend or fiance, whatever the fuck. And then shit went downhill from there. So I did my best not to follow on the footsteps of other people. So it's like they say, you stand on the shoulder of giants. Is this mine? Yeah, it is. You stand on the shoulder of giants. So that was my little story. Everyone hates me, man. Also, that period turned me... I used to be really, really introvert. I've never... Because when I was younger, my mom and my dad used to own a cafe. You know, like a corner cafe. So they used to own... Throughout the years, they've owned 2. And my mom used to work at the till, okay, behind the counter and behind on the kitchen, and my dad would obviously be the owner. And the first, like, until I was about 7 or 8, yeah, it was a normal life, just growing up. But then when I turned about 10, my dad got the first cafe, so we had to move. And then it was 2 years and I got adapted to the new school and all that, and then we moved back to my old house, yeah, where we stayed there. And bastard, I don't want to fight you. Okay, let me tell this story. So we had the cafe, which was really far away, like an hour away. And then at night, I used to stay there till like midnight, and then we'd come home. And then my dad dropped that cafe, and he got another cafe. He waited a year or so, and then he got another cafe a bit closer. And until I was like 15 or whatever, no, 14, that's where my mum and my dad used to be all day. And then, but because I didn't want to be there, I usually just stayed at home. Okay, so I'd go from school to home. I would never see my dad or my mum throughout the whole day, or any time. Yeah, not even on the weekends, because obviously my mum used to work full time there, including Saturdays and Sundays. So I'd finish school, I'd go home, and I'd only see my mum and my dad at like midnight. And then my mum and my dad, that went on for about 2 years, and then my mum and my dad split up, and I moved with my mum to near my nan's. Okay, so obviously my whole childhood is just me moving left and right, so I never made a lot of friends. So because of that, I used to just game a lot. That's where I learned all of my English from, just gaming. And it's a good thing, yeah. It's a good thing that I learned my English from there and didn't like become some kind of crazy psychopath or whatever. But point is, I didn't make a lot of friends, and I never really kept friends. If anyone needs me that I know from high school, I'll definitely help them. But I've not kept in touch. I don't keep in touch with people. And I used to be really introvert. Are you sure you are saying? Yeah, my own way. I don't commit crimes or anything like that. So, but yeah. So I used to be really introvert, where I'd not talk to anyone. Because as far as I saw it, people don't care about you in general. People only care about a puppy if it's their puppy. Yeah. Like you see people... it's not a crime if no one can tell a story. Yeah, exactly. But it's like, I kind of learned that nobody cares about your puppy dying, they care about their puppy dying. So I keep to myself because it's just no point. Yeah. But this period kind of made me realize that a lot of the shit that I've learned through the years, like all this random shit that I talk about on here, all the schooling and all my experiences, it's actually more interesting than I first gave it thought. Because while most people would not give a shit about listening to me talking about biology and science in real life, it turns out quite a few people online like to hear it. Because have you ever tried talking about something really complex to people in your day-to-day life? They usually just say, I don't get it, I don't want to talk about it. That's what I get all the time, especially at work. I don't get it. Oh, do you want me to tell you? Like, I'll teach you like I will teach a 5-year-old. No, it's too much for me. It's like, you're not even giving it a chance. Yeah? You're not even listening to it. And it's really frustrating because then you're like, fine, you want to stay ignorant? So you stay ignorant then. See if I give a shit. So it really demotivates you from talking about it. But when you find someone that you can talk to about that, then it's really good to talk about it. Because you actually find someone who's like-minded. And like I said from before, I've never made a lot of friends that were like-minded. I just made people I knew, and I never got in trouble, never got bullied, because, again, I learned martial arts and I wasn't scared to face bullies or anything. So I never got bullied at school, but I never made friends to protect myself or to talk about. I just went home from school, just went home and spent time on my computer. So that period taught me that actually a lot of the shit that I know is actually really valuable info. If someone's there to listen to... Oh, okay, good night. If someone bothers to listen. So yeah, that was a little sub-story, or sub-story, whatever you want to call it. But it's not that sad, actually. It's just more of a... No matter how bad it gets, it could get worse. That's what I kept thinking to myself my whole life. Yeah, it's not great, but it could be worse, you know. I always say at work, they're like, oh, I've had a shit day, and I always say, yeah, it could be worse, you could be homeless. Yeah, or you could be a child in Africa that's starving. Hello, Pharaoh, how are you doing? Well, and there we are again, by game and viewers and streaming time, etc. Yep, pretty much. It kind of comes around in circles, doesn't it? Oh, sorry, Pharaoh. I'm talking to someone on Twitch. I'm streaming to multiple platforms. Sorry. You're asking about the title of the video. I thought you were asking about the conversation. Yeah, I just had basically explaining now. About 3 years ago, I moved jobs to find a new job because I was tired. It was getting stagnant, so I found a new job to kind of keep my career interesting, yeah, and progress. And I found this job, and then I realized that a month in, the company went bust, and I lost my job. And at the same time, I was having problems with my ex, and we ended up splitting up. And it's not a long conversation, but you'll be in the VOD if you want to listen to it, because I've already explained everything. Which makes me realise this kind of format is a bit weird. Because unless you're here from the start, you kind of miss out on the main points. Good title for a video, though. That's why there's a follow option. Yes. Does anyone use it? Highly doubt it. To be the first. Yep. So you pretty much listened to the story firsthand, yeah. But yeah, the format's a bit weird, like I said. Tell you what though, I wasn't really good at school. I hated the way I hated school and studying. I wasn't actually one of the best students or one of the worst. I just didn't do any homework. Like, I legit would do anything I could to avoid doing homework. My mum was always very relaxed with me. She'd just let me do whatever I wanted to do. As in, if I didn't want to study, she wouldn't sit me down and tell me, you have to study. Same with my dad. He never did. What he did once was my grades were really bad during that period when I was moving backwards and forwards when I was young. And he actually took my computer away and my grades improved. Because of that. But in general, I'd do anything but do my homework. But when I was at school and I was in the class, I'd listen to everything. So any information that I got at school, that's what stuck with me. If they told me, oh, if you want to learn more of this, you have to study at home, I probably wouldn't learn it. like maths, where it's a subject that you have to take it home and you have to learn it. I was never good at maths because I'd refuse to take it home and learn it and practice it. Dude, have you realized that Ragnar's been my prisoner for the longest fucking time? Dude's been rotting in my fucking jail for ages. And they've not asked for him back. Maybe they can't afford him, that's why. Maybe they can't afford to have him back. Oh, that's funny that. Yo, Mattold. Execute him. I wish you could. I legit wish you could execute the fucker. God damn it. Wait, isn't Biostor another lord? Another one of companions? I think it is. So I'm gonna go over and... Wait, where is he? Is he not in here? Or am I tripping? No, he just went past. Okay. Give him loads of levels onto charisma. Give him loads of leadership. That should allow him to carry more troops, hopefully. Right, what castle was under attack? Yeah, it would be that one. I'm not interested. I see another siege. Awesome. Get my siege gear on. Let me just upgrade my troops because I don't think I've done it in a while. There we go. I'm happy that my my finances are back on track. I remember being really poor at some point. Because I don't take prisoners from this. Oh no, I will, because they're running away. Hello, sir. Oh. Sorry, but not at the moment. No, no, no. Let me kite him away. There we go. Oh, he loves his king. That's fine. Why is it so foggy all the time? Can't see shit, man. I guess I get a random headshot. There we go. Now we can just encapsulate them. Take out the crossbowmen. Isn't it interesting how they all attack castles and stuff like that until I show up with about 170 knights, and then they're all like, yeah, we don't want any part of this. As soon as you reach a certain amount of troop quality, they just run away. I wish there was another way of making passive income in this game. Know what I mean? Because like at the moment the only way you can make passive income in the game is by having industries, but then when you enter a war with another kingdom, you're pretty much like not making any money and you're losing money every time. While generally I'd prefer if there was a way that I could make just passive income at all times. this game. Where I wouldn't be scared of taking in a city because I could afford to pay for the troops that are stationed in there. Because that's what's stopping me. Well, wars don't make money for the ones leading the war. That's true. You normally spend money when you're at war, yeah. But that's the thing, it's like, I'm the one that's mainly defending the kingdom. Nobody else seems to do it. If I'm not doing this patrolling left and right and defending cities and just doing the boring patrolling work, nobody else does it. I feel like if there's a castle, look where it is. What do I do with him? Do I leave him alone? I don't see the point in Oh, I found an error. I was curious what he was going to say. I don't know where error 911 wife should not be in the game is. How's the realm doing? Oh damn. We are reconsidering our next objective. Oh, they're not at war. Okay, I'll leave him alone. That was interesting. I think I've seen him before once, but I never asked those questions, and then I was always considering, should I have asked those questions? So what do you say? Do you say we go sooner and take that fucking thing down for once? Actually no, because Dirham's still weak. I think Halmar's still weak. Yeah, sure. I think Halmar's still weak, isn't it? Yeah, 200 troops, not enough. What am I at war with? Just the Vegas? The Swedians? Interesting. Hey, remember the Rodoks? They've kind of been out of the game for the ages. They took Yellen back. Is this the comeback? Is this the Rodok comeback we've been waiting for? Come on. But yeah, I like the way we're looking at the moment. Preferably, I like to take these castles down though. So I'm going to make myself the marshal, and we're going to raise some hell. I think that's the way to go. But like I said, I'm still struggling to... Yeah, I'm still struggling to keep hold of cities. I think I'm going to wait until the cities have got a good garrison. And then go for it. I could potentially just drop in some troops. Do you know what I mean? Just drop in some of my own troops. Reinforce the garrison that way. I will need about what, 300 troops to reinforce them that way. It's a lot of people, isn't it? Might call it a night though after this, and then I'll have to think about it for a little bit. You know what I'm like when it comes to making decisions. I consider all of the possible outcomes. Just do it. Just do it, what? Take the castles or garrison it? Garrison the cities. Just take the castles. Okay. So let me take all these prisoners. I'll make myself marshal. Because I think that's the only way that I can actually take castle down. Nice gloves. Nice shoes, man. They're cracked. Ugh. Hey, now the Serenades want some as well. So let me go to Praven. If I can sell these fuckers as well. No, I can't, but I can manage the garrison. You go in there. You go in there. There's always two people in the war. In war, the tactician and the instinctive ones. Just do it. Yeah, I've learned that every decision I make, if I take my time to think about it, I usually come up with a better informed decision. Anyways, doesn't always mean. Should I just take Suno? It's a lot of sharpshooters, actually. It's a lot of sharpshooters. I think I'd need the whole kingdom to take that down. Yeah, Emira. Make yourself useful. Gather everyone round. Let's have a party. Alma! Hooray! God fucking damn it. No. God damn it, the Chevy. Why you gotta be fucking useless? Why is it below average? Haven't I been beating like people left, right and centre? Yeah, you can have them. Doesn't matter if they hate each other. Good point. Get the siege gear on because I'm not going to fight him outside the castle. I'm just going to take... I think they might actually just give up. Oh no, they're not. Hey, we can have another useless conversation about useless shit. Just my favourite type. Wow, wasting arrows. Dude's like a fucking Beyblade. You spin me right round, baby, right round. Not a good singer. No, no. So yeah, the guy said that he was gonna talk to my manager about the promotion, and I'm a bit worried because my current supervisor, he's only been at it for 3 months, or if he's got like what 20 odd years experience in upholstery. Now I'm concerned for the simple reason that now I'm gonna take over the position, according to the other guy. I'm going to take over the position, and I'm wondering how they're going to react to having a much younger guy taking charge. Okay. So here's what's most likely going to happen. They're going to kick off. And I'm going to have to assert my... I'm going to have to put my foot down a lot more than I should have to. Because they're going to pretty much rebel and see how much they can push me. To try and get the what they want, how they want it. Yeah. And that's pretty much what they've been doing with our current supervisor. He can't assert his... I can't figure out the word. He can't assert his authority. That's it. He doesn't hold a lot of authority over us. Okay. I don't need to be... I respect authority regardless of who it comes from. But I know a lot of people don't respect authority. Yeah. They do what they can get away with. Yeah. While with me, if you're my supervisor and you tell me to do something, I don't even think twice, I just do it. Because being on a team, you know, like being on a squad, gaming squad, yeah. When your squad leader tells you to do something, I was told you don't ask questions. Yeah, it's pretty militarized. You just do as you're told. If you fuck up as a whole team, then it's your team leader's fault that you fucked up as a team, not your individual fault. So I was always told, even if you think it's fucking stupid, just do it. Unless you're 100% sure that it is wrong, then you raise concerns. And if you raise concerns and the team leader does nothing about it, then, like I said before, you get the team leader to take responsibility for it. And then maybe next time, you'll be heard. Okay, so that's pretty much how I operate. But like I said, a lot of people, they fight against the current. So I'm going to have to put my foot down a lot more than I should at the start. And I don't have a problem with it. Well, I don't enjoy being a dickhead because in general, because of the way I was brought up, I'm quite easygoing. Because I take off my mum when it comes to that. Easygoing guy. But if it means that I have to put my foot down and be a dick, just to prove a point, then I will. Because I've had to do that with, when I was programming, I needed help from people. Like, I'd have to get freelancers to help me with it. Freelancers, when I say freelancers, I mean people who needed experience. I'd never actually paid anyone for it because I didn't think it was worth paying someone for it. And I never made any money out of it either, so... It's like, you help me, I help you, we both learn something out of this, and it's happy days. And whenever times weren't getting reach and all that, I've had to talk to him and say, right, this needs to be done. And then, if he kind of just said, oh yeah, sure, but never did anything, I'd bring it up again, and then I wouldn't bring it up to him anymore. I'd just ignore him from then on. And I'd pretty much say, yeah, because when I make contracts, I say if contract's not maintained within a month of between conversations, then the contract's void and we don't need each other anymore. Because sometimes people just go missing, yeah, they disappear. So on the contracts that I made, very casual contracts, I pretty much stated, if we don't keep in contact for a month or over, then the contract's over. Contract's void, or contract's expired. So if they don't want to produce work, then I'm not going to force them to do it. I'll mention it to them. If the work doesn't get done, then that's it. No point working. So there's always a way to get people to do the work that you want them to do. And I learned a lot about social skills as well, which I was really bad with. I never knew how to talk to people. and how to persuade people and how to not manipulate, but get them to do what you want without them realizing you're actually manipulating them to do it. So it is manipulation. And a lot of it is let them think it's their idea. So when you need someone to do something for you, but you don't actually want to say it, you can think it was their idea. Let them think it was their idea. Because people are a lot more likely to do something if they think they came up with it. So all you have to do is plant the idea inside their head. That, okay, so imagine, okay, you need someone to make you, in my job, okay, let's talk about my job. I need someone to prepare me the frames for the whatever job, so I can upholster them as soon as I'm done with whatever I'm doing. So instead of saying, oh, can you please do the frames for me, I'll go over to like my supervisor will say, and say, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish these because the frames are not done yet, and yeah, I'm going to struggle to finish these today. And he'll say something along the lines of, oh, do you want me to make you the frames? And I was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, would you mind? There you go. You just manipulated him into doing what you want him to do. What you want. Yeah. Without actually saying anything. And then you kind of have to predict what they're going to say. So if they say, oh, I'm really busy, if you can't finish them, you have to finish them today. Then if that doesn't work, that plan of getting them to do what you want them to do, then you can always say, oh, do you know anyone else that's busy? So you're not actually getting them to help you, you're getting them to ask for you. And it works with all sorts, not just work, it works with pretty much anything. Yeah, getting people... Yeah, getting the people to think they thought the thing first will motivate them. Yes, exactly. And not only that, you will not feel guilty, or they won't bring it up in the future saying, oh, I did this for you because you never asked them to do. And if they do, you can just say, well, I never asked you to do that. So you're kind of in the clear. There was this, again, a video that I watched a long time ago, or maybe 2 years ago actually, not a long time, about, well, then you would be the yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But then again, they would understand that they kind of thought of how they could help you, and it's not you asking for help, it's them offering help, which is very different from asking for help. So yeah, I watched this video a while ago about how it's more important, or it's better to be the guy who's pulling the strings instead of being the person responsible. Okay, the idea is, okay, imagine you know someone who's a president in the company, okay, he's a CEO in the company, and he's got the responsibility to keep the company afloat, but you've managed, you're close enough to him that you're actually pulling the strings. Okay, now you give yourself a pay rise, you make him do whatever you want, yeah, to forward the company while he thinks he's doing it. The point is, you get all of the benefits without any of the consequences. If the company goes to shit, it's not your name, that's the CEO. Yeah, you're not the CEO, you're not going to go down with the company. If something needs to happen, yeah, and it doesn't happen, you're not going to get blamed for it, because you're the one pulling the strings. You're not responsible, you got no responsibilities. You are the guy that's controlling the business without any of the risks. So that was a very interesting concept that I learned. It's like, don't try to take all the responsibility in the world. Just simply pull the strings. Pulling strings is more important, or it's more beneficial. However, to pull the strings, you actually need to reach in a position where you are able to pull the strings. So you do need to grind out the responsibility at first. Yeah, that's a very interesting concept where you're pretty much sacrificing the responsibility, but it's very complicated to do because you need to get close to the people in charge to be able to do that, and you have to be pretty fucking not heartless, but you need to have very low morals. Yeah, your moral guidance needs to be really fucking shit because you could get anyone in trouble that you want them to. And you can say whatever you want to say and never get in trouble for it. So while you do need to be careful not to bite the hand that feeds, you also need to be careful not to, if you're way up in the company, you don't have morals. I mean, yeah, in a way, yeah. You already have to, because apparently a good percentage of CEOs are psychopaths, aren't they? That's what makes you a really good CEO. It's the ability to get shit done. I wouldn't say that psychopaths. I have heard that a lot of CEOs are psychopaths, but I'd call them more narcissists. Yeah, they don't give a shit about you. They give a shit about themselves and their goal. So if you have to go because you're bringing in, because you're hurting the company, it doesn't matter how much of a friend you are to them, they will get rid of you. And like I'd struggle with something like that, but then again, I don't make friends. Hey, only 9 dead. Well, 29 if you include the people inside the castle. But I'm not. I'm just including my own. And now, still a lot of guys outside, isn't it? I'm sure I can take these guys on, right? Gonna wait for some time. Maybe they'll come again. Oh, no. They're spreading out. Right, I might call it a night. I'm tired. Not a lot of progression. I didn't actually capture anything this time around. But I've not lost anything. Psychopath is the correct wording. You don't need... They don't feel empathy anymore. Yeah. Right, my friend. You have a good night as well. And thank you for showing up. And I'll speak to you tomorrow if you're around.